So Dipanshu, glad to be here. Second edition. I think right from get-go, it was a full house over here. So congratulations. But I'm not surprised also because the topic is so so topical, so to say, right? Future of manufacturing, and I think a couple of things that really stood out to me, right, is the consistency of messaging coming in, all the way across from policymakers to industry people through technology companies, both in terms of the opportunities that they are identifying and also some of the key imperatives, including sustainability that was clearly called out. And I enjoyed the discussions, deliberations so far, and looking forward to the back half of the day. So first and foremost, I think it really has to begin with the fact that you want to excel. You want to excel in manufacturing, and you want to really make sure that you're widening the aperture and not just looking at what you produce, but how you produce it, right? And once you're producing it, think about the entire life cycle, right? So how do you end of life the product, right? That you are putting out over there in the market, right? Increasingly, we are finding that a couple of years ago, people used to be quite overwhelmed with the thought of, oh my God, now there's another dimension to take care of, that is sustainability. But increasingly, the dialogue is shifting in, listen, I'm implementing digital technologies to transform my business. And as I'm implementing digital technologies, it's empowering me to also progress on my ESG goals. It is allowing me to overcome the complexity and track, all that goes in, including energy, including the emissions that come out, right? If I'm able to track it, if I'm able to trace it down to where they're coming from, I can actually work on mitigating them, right? So, what we're finding is that digital is actually turning out to be a big empowering force of sorts to help people get to their higher order ESG objectives, right? And there are many dimensions to it, right? Safety is a dimension, right? If you can have good safety practices, then you'll have fewer downtime incidents, and that's another aspect of sustainability, right? If you have more resilient operations, right, then you will have fewer incidents which will interrupt your manufacturing operations, be it through a cyber threat or a cyber incident of some nature. And that also that allows you to not have downtime incidents, right, arising out of those incidents. And that also aids the sustainability efforts, right? If you are able to impart better training faster to your new workforce, that also enables you to ensure that you will have fewer incidents where you have to recall a product, right? So what we are finding is it all comes together in a broader, holistic ESG plan, right? And all of this is getting powered through digital technologies. Yeah. So let's look at, it's glass half empty and glass half full. I look at the pace at which the glass is getting filled up, right? What I mean by that is coming out of the pandemic, when we got into the pandemic, the world had so much of doubts about how India will be able to cope. But I think we were one of the countries that came out, very strong in terms of how we recovered post-pandemic, right? Now, as the rest of the world is looking at, let's say, very soft economic prospects, India stands out as a beacon of hope, right, in terms of global growth, right? And we've already broken into the top 5 global economies, right? We have our eyes set on getting into the top 3, right? Now, so all of those are good things. That means we got momentum behind us, right? Manner in which we've been able to embrace digital, right, to create these societal impacts, the manner in which we are creating this digital public infrastructure, right, which is turning out to be a global benchmark of sorts, right? So all of those are things which are propelling us forward, but what got us here is not going to get us to the next milestone. We'll have to rethink. One of the things that we really have to do is manufacturing, which has been contributing mid-teens to the country GDP, right? Manufacturing has to become $1 trillion if we have to have a country that has a $5 trillion economy, right? And that would require manufacturing to almost double in size in the foreseeable future over the next 3 to 5 years. And for that to happen, it just must lead the growth of the overall GDP. My point of view over there is slightly different. I think manufacturing itself has to transform. If we really have to have a manufacturing sector that is growing faster than the overall GDP growth of the country, manufacturing has to transform. And that transformation is going to be fueled by digital, right? And if it is a different way that we are going to be manufacturing, right, you need to have different skills. So I like and I believe in digital transformation, but it's the transformation piece of that digital transformation that I believe in a lot more. Digital is just a means to an end, right? And if that transformation is going to happen, you need to really empower your workforce to be very comfortable and at ease. So this transformation has to really be human-centric, right? And I think that encapsulates all the elements of what we just must take into account, the ESG aspects of it, or the workforce and the skills aspect of it as well. Yeah.